What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, successors? All right, you all are in for a great show today. Today is Thursday, so you all know what that means. It's Law Talk. We have attorney Fred Jones in the building. Excited for our topics today and excited to really dive in right here on Speaker Success in the Morning. Family, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? I hope you all are having amazing morning today. Today is September 11th, 2025. It's a great day to be alive. And man, before we even kick off the show today, I just want to take a quick moment and I just want to remember all the lives that were lost during the events of September 11th. I know September 11th. At times, it seems like it can be passed over. It seems like it can be forgotten. But September 11th, not 9/11, right? 2001, and just remembering and reflecting on the attacks that took place. Oh man, I know for some people it might be triggering. I know for some people it might be. Um, it might pull up some feelings of frustration. But for others, I want us to be able to take time and remember those 2,977 deaths that took place by way of the World Trade Center and over at Ground Zero in New York, because that's something that those of us who are here today to remember and be able to look back, that's something that we can't take for granted being here today. But those lives that were taken, I want to definitely just give them a moment and give them just a quick moment of silence as we reflect and as we just take time to remember those whose lives were lost. Whew, man. And I know it's never easy for people who have lost somebody, who has lost a loved one, who has lost a family member, a friend, a colleague, whoever it might be. But y'all, at the end of the day, grieving is something that you never just get over, right? This is something that you never just can move past. This is something, this is a continual process that you have to go through in your life, and we want to be sensitive to that this morning, rolling into our September 11th show, and as we get ready to continue to move forward with the show. I want you to know that you're seen. I want you to know that you're loved, and I also want you to know that those family members are remembered. All right. Okay. Okay. Now, y'all, I want to briefly transition over, and now I want to go ahead and get into the word, because I know the word has the ability to bring us some energy. The word has the ability to bring us some life, and the word has the ability to also bring us some wisdom. And today for our verse, I wanted to read this in the book of Hebrews chapter 13, and I want to read just verse 2. And the text reads, "Do not neglect hospitality to strangers, for by this some have entertained angels without knowing it." Do not neglect hospitality of strangers or to strangers, for by this some have entertained angels without knowing it. Today, I want to talk about this text is because we can be so easily caught up in our own feelings. We can be so easily caught up as being the sole focus for the day. Uh, if we're not careful, we will think that you know the only focus is us, right? In that day, in that time, in that moment, in that hour. And then we get approached by certain people. We talk about certain people. We say things about other people. But what if? But what if on your worst day, somebody approached you and they approached you and they were in need, but yet you had the audacity to brush this person off? What if the person that you brushed off just so happened to be an angel? And it's very interesting because when we see angels, or let me make it about me. Let me make it about me, Dad. When at times when I would visualize what an angel looked like, an angel would look soft and it would look loving and they would have these big wings and they just would look so harmless. But when we read our Bible and when we look at the word, and then it lets us know that each and every one of us has an angel that is assigned to us, and letting us know that that angel is protecting us, that would make you begin to have a different level of an understanding of what an angel looks. Angels are ferocious, okay? Angels are coming with a different level of energy and a different level of vigor. Okay. So the reason why I want to bring that is to let us know today, remind us today, first and foremost, be careful what we're saying about people, who we're talking about and who we're talking to. Because one thing I've seen, and we're going to get into and talk a little bit about Charlie Kirk a little bit later in the show, but one thing that I have seen on social media is I've seen people who identify as believers, and I've seen mixed reviews online. I've seen some people celebrating death, which is not okay, right? I've seen some people mourning, but other people saying this is what this person deserves and different things like that. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful to not neglect hospitality to strangers. Many of us don't have a personal relationship with Mr. Kirk or even with his family, right? So we don't know what type of life he lived outside of the public eye. But y'all be careful not to neglect hospitality to strangers, for by this some have entertained angels and not have even known it. Am I calling Mr. Kirk an angel? He might have been. But either way, if you identify yourself as a believer, we should live in a way to where our lives line up and are leading with love, to where we are a reflection of Christ, to where when somebody sees us, they can identify us outside of the rest of the world. Because why? Because we are called and we are set apart. We operate different. We don't operate the way, if everybody is throwing rocks and throwing stones at the person who has sinned, we're not throwing rocks and we're not throwing stones. We're showing grace. We're leading with love. And we're operating in that because why? Because Jesus did that first for us. Family, today, I want to encourage you, be cautious. Be cautious. Because if we were, and I'm jumping around in the text a little bit, I'm jumping around in that book a little bit, but if we were the woman who was in the text, to where the men were sitting there and they were saying, stone her, she sinned. Stone her, she's been promiscuous. But then Jesus looked at them and said, if you have no sin, you cast the first stone. What does that look like in 2025? Our words are stones, right? It doesn't always have to be physical, but you gossiping about people is stones. And we're taking people's reputation and we're bending it and we're breaking it and we're not holding back. But what if we were to sit back and we were to put your life on a big screen, and then we followed your every move at work, at home? What if we entered into your mind and we saw your inner thoughts? Would you then be in the position to where you could cast the first stone? And if the answer is no, which the majority of us it should be, unless our name is Jesus Christ, then it's time for us, family, to operate differently, to move differently, to make a better decision today than we made yesterday. So today, I want you to walk with your head held high, but I want you also to walk with love on your mind, grace in your heart, and leading like Jesus did. Because at the end of the day, family, none of us are perfect. There's only one, and his name was Jesus. So that's straight from the source this morning. I just felt led to really speak and talk and broach that topic a little bit. But family, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come right back, and we're going to return with attorney Fred Jones as we get ready to dive into law talk and talk about some of the news that's going on around us. We'll be right back with more Speaker Success in the Morning after this. Looking for timeless pieces that make a statement? Discover the Jewelry Department, where elegance meets craftsmanship. Owned by Miguel Contreras and located at 13505 Mumford Place, Suite 103 in Dallas, the Jewelry Department is your destination for stunning, one-of-a-kind pieces designed to elevate your style. From classic designs to modern trends, we offer a curated selection that reflects sophistication and artistry. Because we believe your jewelry should be just as unique as you are. Visit us today at the Jewelry Department, where every piece tells a story. And let us help you find the perfect piece that speaks to yours. The Jewelry Department, elevating your look with elegance and style. Find us at 13505 Mumford Place, Suite 103 in Dallas. All right, family. All right. Welcome back to Speak Your Success in the Morning. We're currently 14 minutes after the hour. We have attorney Fred Jones on the mic with us for Law Talk today. Dad, how you doing? How you feeling this morning?
I'm rested. I'm ready to chat with you here on Speak Your Success in the Morning. Glad to
Yeah,
be here. Good day.
yeah, man. You look rested, and that's a good look. That's a good looking color on you. It's a good looking color. Good looking shirt on you, sir.
I'll have to wear it more often.
Yeah. Pull that thing out the closet. Don't pick favorites, but just
Yeah, we'll pick.
let us see that a little bit more. Let's see that a little bit more. So, Dad, man, I want to just go ahead and I want to dive in. I want to transition, and I want to talk a little bit about Charlie Kirk, because this is something that I've seen online, and I'm gonna pull it up just in one moment. But just watching what has taken place, and seeing the conversation that people are sharing, and their thoughts they're having to say. Let me go ahead and pull up Mr. Kirk. Mr. Kirk.
Yeah, it's a very emotional, right? And you get to see this kind of stuff. It's pretty tragic.
Yeah. The article reads that a manhunt is underway after conservative Charlie Hunt, the activist, no,
Or-
a manhunt is underway after conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot dead on Utah campus. Dad. Okay, let's just read just to bring everybody up to speed. So Charlie Kirk, who is a conservative U.S. politician, activist, and campaigner for President Donald Trump, was fatally shot at Utah Valley University. The shooter currently is still at large and is believed to have fired once from a nearby roof in a targeted attack, according to the Utah Department of Public Safety, which is leading the investigation along with the FBI. And as we know, the manhunt is underway, and two people who are considered suspects were later released, the department said. Dad, I'm just going to kick it to you just to kick this thing off. From a legal perspective, what are we seeing here, and what are we hearing?
Well, we sent somebody that was pretty much murdered right before our eyes on social media, right? So we got a criminal case going on here. And in a criminal case, the state brings the action. We're concerned because this could be any one of our sons or our daughters. So, in a legal case, the state, the government, has
Mm-hmm.
a duty to investigate, a duty to find out who's the wrongdoer, a duty to find out who's the perpetrator of this alleged crime. Okay, And so people get killed every day. People
Mm,
get shot every day in America. Okay. However, when certain people are shot or killed, it gets more visibility. And there are several things that causes that visibility to become highlighted.
mm,
It all depends on how active that person was, how engaged, how involved are they in community affairs, what type of social media platform or presence they have, and then what has this person been saying and doing. When someone is killed, we always want to go back and see what their record is like
mm.
and what's been going on. And in this particular case, this is a highly publicized person. This is a public figure, and this figure has said a lot of things and given a lot of speeches and on record for doing a lot. He's a political activist, from what I
Hmm.
can from what I can gather,
Yeah,
and the language of this person has been pretty riveting. And
yeah,
so, yeah, that's what we're looking at, John.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, then the article also went on to say there's been an outpour of condemnation from both sides of the aisle. Trump describes Kirk's death as a dark moment for America and blame rhetoric from the radical left for causing political violence.
I don't believe it. I don't that when that man speaks, he's like he speaks out of both sides of his mouth. I mean, I don't know if anybody has spewed any more rhetoric than Mr. Trump, and so his words have no credibility when it comes to talking about something like this, because you can't have it both ways, and that's
Mm,
one of the problems in our country. We try to have it both ways, but why don't we go to something, John, that stand forever? And you know what that is?
what's that?
It's the law of God. It's the
Hmm.
law of God's word. And God's word tells us they that live by the sword shall die by the sword. We have to be mindful of where we hang our hat at. Now, how does that apply to Mr. Kirk's death? I'm not exactly sure how it exactly aligns, but there is some alignment. Jesus, we, the scripture is true. Violence and rhetoric breeds that. If you
Mm,
want whatever you want more of, feed that. And whatever you feed, it's going to breed. And whatever breed, it's going to grow. And whatever grows, we're going to get more of it. So if we want peace and harmony and unity, let's proclaim that. Even though proclaiming peace doesn't mean that somebody's not going to kill you. Dr. King was a peace proclaiming person, but he was
hmm.
he was killed. He was shot. Okay, so there's no real black and white way of looking at these kind of things. Bad things happen to good people, and why do good things happen for bad people? But we have to pause and say, what do I want to see? And in this particular case, it's highlighted. It's highly political. And but I'll say this: we lose people every day, and every life, everybody that dies is somebody's son or somebody's daughter.
And that yeah, and that certainly is a fact. And Mr. Charlie Kirk, his full name was Charles James Kirk. He was born October 14th, 1993. And the point where he began to rise in activism, this took place in 2012, where he was around 18 or 19, and he co-founded Turning Point USA, TP USA, which is a conservative student organization that was focused on promoting its mission, calls free markets, limited government, fiscal responsibility, which was among students. And Mr. Kirk, his key ideology, and his positions and controversies, it was emphasis on conservative culture, or around skepticism or opposition to what he called woke ideology, critical race theory, and DEI programs. Right, so. Some social issues that he had some strong conservative stances regarding abortion, gender identity, LGBTQ topics, and he's been very outspoken against gender affirming care, supportive of traditional Christian culture and norms. So that's just a little bit of background on Mr. Kirk. What you got, Dad?
You put it mildly. He was a lightning rod, right? He was a lightning rod, right? He said things that others were thinking. He said things
Hmm.
that others would not say.
Hmm.
Therefore, he became others' hero.
Mm.
Okay, because they
Okay.
didn't have the courage to say the things that he was saying.
This is true.
But when you step out on the edge like this, there's a price you pay. And I am not in agreement with violence. I'm not in agreement. I condemn what has happened to this man. I mean, I pray that the person who did it is found, arrested. I don't know if they've made an arrest or found the shooter yet, but I
Mm-hmm.
pray that investigation goes well. But we're living in a time where you should have the right to say whatever you want to say. That's part. That's what America is all about: free
Mm-hmm.
speech, right? But is there a limit to speech? Is there a
Mm-hmm.
time that you should probably pump your brakes a little bit? When you're looking at a job market where over 300,000 individuals, black women in particular,
Mm-hmm. To
have been
350,000. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
350,000 have lost their jobs in this last, I don't know if it's the quarter or last first half of the year or so forth, but here recently, over
Mm-hmm.
300 to 350,000 have lost their jobs. Man, do you realize how devastating, how triggering that is? And if you are out here making statements about people's race and so forth, and you of a different race, you don't know the pain and the pressure that that mother, or that daughter, that person is under, that your words are going to trigger and cause. We got to be responsible for our actions, and we got to be responsible for our words. Okay, I
Mm.
don't, but I believe that we should have a right to speak, and we should have a right to safety in this country if we truly want to make America great again.
This is
I
true.
don't know
This
when it lost its greatness. I
the,
don't
the,
know when it ever
the
lost it.
I'm with you on that. But speaking speaking of making sure that we're conscious and aware of our words, Dad, we got to transition over
Yeah.
to our good sister, our favorite aunt, Tabitha Brown. She had some things to say this past week, I believe it was, about entrepreneurship and about business. Let's play this clip, and I want to hear your thoughts and feedback here.
Oh, Miss Brown. Hmm.
Ah,
Yeah.
just lie. Hold
Yeah,
on.
that's okay. He's
Let's
gonna
bring it
find it.
back up.
Why you finding it there, John? Tabitha Brown is she said something. I saw it a few days ago, and when she made that statement, I was like, whoa, okay, how's this gonna land? You know?
Okay.
And
let's,
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Oh.
That this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first. Okay? Um, you kind of been in this place for a long time. Okay? Now listen, you got good ideas. Baby, you got good ideas. Your execution is not as good. Okay? Um, your follow through, not as good. The ideas though are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and that doesn't mean it's not for you. But right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about. Baby, it ain't been working for you, okay? And you doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur, but you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to, okay, um, that it ain't working right now.
Okay, Dad. Okay, okay. You two probably is already gonna flag us for the content. So family, real quick, Dad, I'm gonna get your thoughts and feedback real quick. But family, at those who are tapping in on live stream, just below the comment section, right? If y'all are getting value from this, there should be a dollar sign down there. Feel free to give a love offering. Feel free to send over some coin. We will gladly accept it because when YouTube flags certain content, then ultimately the video can't be monetized. Dad, okay, let's go ahead and dive in. What are your thoughts? What's your reaction from a legal perspective here? From a legal perspective, talk to me about what we're hearing from Tabitha Brown.
Okay, first off, I would like to invite those in the comments to say, do you agree or disagree? I would love
Oh,
those people in the in the comment section. You agree or disagree with Miss Brown? Is entrepreneurship for everyone? Yes or no? Put a yes or no in the comment box. I would love to see the yes or no. First off, John, this is law talk, right?
this is law talk, man.
Here's something people miss all the time. Starting a business is a legal venture. A business has to have a legal form. And
Mm.
even if you don't go down to the courthouse and file records for your corporation, your partnership, or your LLC, guess what you are by default? You are
What's
a
the
sole proprietor.
hmm?
The law is
Okay.
going to see you as a sole proprietor. You'll be taxed personally and business wise based on whatever the sole proprietor brings in. So a business is a legal form. Okay, number
Okay.
one. Number two, entrepreneurship. It's a fancy word, man. It's a beautiful word, and people love that word, right? We got these ideas. I'm gonna work for myself. I'm gonna be my own boss. I'm gonna be my own boss. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna boss up. I'm gonna boss up. But what Miss Brown was saying here is you got some good ideas, but the key is can you execute them? And can you execute them ongoingly? Okay. And the answer is a lot of people rob Peter to pay Paul. A lot of people borrow money. They do all kinds of things to stay in business, and ultimately they go out. Eight
Yeah.
out of 10 businesses don't make it.
Yeah.
Probably more than that in a very short period of time. They don't make it. And this is something that nobody is that very few people are saying to aspiring entrepreneurs out here is that the chances of you making is 1 or 2 out of 10.
Mm.
So what the lady said, no doubt about, ain't no question about the authenticity of what she said. Some people were just in their feelings and didn't like it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, listening to it, there's a lot of truth there. And for those who have been in business for longer than 2 years, we know that that's true, and we know that that through entrepreneurship and through business, like there's seasons, right? We can't deny that. So you might be bootstrapping it from the front and from the beginning of starting your business, and where you're trying to pull money from wherever, and just like she said, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. But then there does come a certain point to where your head should be above water, or at least you have a plan that you're
When does that point
actively.
come? When does that point come?
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So look, so okay. Well, I'll say this. I'll say the point come because even for me and my business, I have seen in the way that my business flows, right through speaking and then also through doing coaching and consulting. There are times to where there's higher influx of money that's coming in versus going out. But then there have also been times when yeah, yeah, it's up and it's down. But one thing that Mr. Dean Lindsay told me, he's a speaker, been speaking 20 plus years there. One thing he told me was like, Jonathan, you got to remember, always keep your costs low. And I was like, huh? He said, John, look at these shoes. I've had these shoes for X amount of years. Look at this suit. I got this suit from J.C. Penney. Keep your costs low because when you keep your costs low, then you'll continue to stay in business.
Hey, that'll preach right there.
And that is what it is. But social media is in an uproar because we don't want to hear the truth. We don't want to hear the truth. Everybody thinks that their idea is the next big thing. The Bible tells us that there's nothing new under the sun, although there are tweaks and changes to where people might do to existing things. Because what, Dad, at the end of the day, to have a business or to be able to have a product or service, you just need to be able to reduce a few things for people, reduce stress, reduce time, reduce money spent, right? And if we can begin to do some of those things, then this now keeps us in business. But ultimately, I don't think she's wrong. It's just a message that many of us don't want to hear. And if we're guilty of it, go get a job and prove her wrong. But either way, we have to make a decision being on the other side of that conversation.
I just think the word job is a sensitive topic right now. Okay,
Mm,
we've heard the acrostic just over broke, right? Just over broke. A job is just somebody working on someone else's vision.
mm.
Entrepreneurship is what's in vogue right now. This generation has awakened and realized that the golden ticket is entrepreneurship. But if you're going to do entrepreneurship, there's one law you better know. You better get this law right. It's called the law of profitability. If you're not being profitable in your business, then that ain't gonna work. Then, and honey, you might want to just go get you a job. Let me just get you a job. You know what I mean? I
My
mean, I don't
goodness.
mean no offense. You know, your
Yeah, that's
ideas are
good.
good, but your execution is a little off. Totally agree. You got to execute, and then you got to keep on executing, and then you got to innovate to dominate.
Mm.
Okay, AI has just upset everything. Okay, some people are still stuck out here talking about, I got to do this, I got to write this book and taking 2 weeks in a year and all this stuff. You're so far behind. The illiterate and the lost of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write. The illiterate and the lost and those who will get left behind will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. You
That's
better
it.
learn what AI is all about. That's
That's
the
it.
law of the land right now for your business, your ministry, or whatever you're doing.
Mm. That
That's the law.
and then understanding that the focus is, once you do get in a place to where you do get the business going, or you're beginning to get the business going, how should one protect that business, right? Because people
Ooh.
come into the situation. Well, I'll leave it right there for you. How should one begin to protect that business? This is law talk. Let's talk about it.
Oh, you better think about the law of intellectual property. And I hear
Mm.
so few people talk about it. AI help you write it, but who owns it?
Mm.
The more things change, the more they don't change. I'm going to say that again. The more things change, the more they don't change. The
Mm.
most expensive thing you will ever pay is attention to the wrong people. So many people on social media and different platforms in our culture today, we like the loud noise, we like the crowd, but oftentimes that will lead you the wrong way. If you're running a business today, one of the most valuable assets you have, and the premium for this asset is going higher and higher. It's becoming more valuable and more valuable. You know
Mm.
what that is, John?
What's that?
It's your source. But wait a minute. Let me tell you what your source is. Most people, oh, God is my source. God, yes, He is. Yes, oh, yes, He is. Yes, He is. And the Scripture should be your source, right? If you're a person of faith.
Most
But listen to
definitely.
this. And the Scripture says this: they overcame him, the enemy, him, Satan,
Mm-hmm.
him,
Mm-hmm.
by the word, by the blood of the Lamb, and the words of their testimony.
That's it.
John, John, don't tell nobody I told you. But your source is your story.
Yeah.
Okay, you say, wait a minute. Hold on. You got to teach AI your story. You got to brand your story. You got to protect your story because it's the only thing that you got that's going to make you unique, different, and a category of one.
Mm.
That's the law of the land right now, legally speaking. Copyright, trademark, and trade secrets is what people are missing in this AI hyped up sensitive time, and it's exciting. I'm excited about it. But
Yeah.
it's your story. Your story is what makes you unique. Nobody else has the same handprints you have. Nobody else have the same DNA you got. It's your story, and that's what excites me. And if
That's
somebody
good.
wants to really start a job, every company has a company story.
That's true. This is very true. This is very this is very true. Every company does, because I was listening to a podcast the other day. It's called Founders, and then they break down the story of many founders, how their company began, where they started, what that looks like, and that's really good. What you're saying about understanding that your story is your story, your words is your source,
It's your
because
source.
yes, AI is here. Yes, people are creating their own GPTs or their own bots, but those bots don't have stories. Those bots don't have personalities. They only have the quote unquote personality that you give it. They only do the commands and spit out the information that you feed it, that you teach it, that you cultivate within it. So, I mean, I think that's really good. So, you said trademark, copyright, trade secrets. This is what people aren't talking about, but they should be.
You got to be talking about this. Copyright more than ever. We often talk about who wrote this song. I talk about who wrote that song. And we talk about, they took their music. Oh, they stole their story. They ain't take it. You need to stop all that line. They didn't steal it and they didn't take it. You gave it away. You gave it away. You gave it away because you didn't get legal on board. Now, I
Mm.
realize that back in the day, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, many of those artists didn't have opportunity to get lawyers. And many of those, and the only way their intellectual property came to the forefront was because white artists played it, or they went to Europe and Europe made them great, right? So they travel. I understand
Mm.
that, but we ain't in the 50s and the 60s. We in the 2025 and 2026 almost, And now more than ever, you need to be thinking about your copyright, your intellectual property, and the law has shifted and changed. It's very favorable if you want to do it the right way. But if you want to go out here and gamble and build an empire acting like a vampire, then you're going to bleed to death in your business.
Oh man, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, it's getting hot. It's getting hot and steamy in here. We got to take a quick commercial break. We're gonna come right back, and we're gonna get back with more Speaker Success in the Morning with attorney Fred Jones. This is Law Talk every Thursday right here, 6 o'clock in the morning on Speaker Success in the Morning. All right, family, we'll be right back in one moment with attorney Fred Jones with more Law Talk.
Do you want to feel confident in your skin every day? Introducing Skin Rituals, a luxury home-based skin studio that specializes in hyperpigmentation, acne, and personalized treatments for every skin type. Owned by solo esthetician and registered nurse Courtney Durham, Skin Rituals is all about curating facial treatments designed just for you. Hydrate, brighten, nourish, and soothe your skin with expert care and cutting-edge techniques that promote natural healing. Whether you're looking for a relaxing facial or a transformative chemical peel, Skin Rituals offers results-driven treatment tailored to your needs. With over 7 years of experience, Courtney's goal is to help you safely achieve the healthy skin that you deserve. At Skin Rituals, we believe that taking care of your skin is an investment in your confidence. Book your appointment today and leave every session feeling grateful for the choice that you made to take care of yourself. Skin Rituals, because your skin deserves the very best.
Family, welcome back to Speaker Success in the Morning. As y'all can see, I'm rocking my new digs, my RMU. Yeah, RMU, man. Shout out to RMU. Shout out to my guy, Danny B. Man, Danny B up in the Northeast region of Pittsburgh. Man, great guy. Phenomenal hospitality. I'm gonna brag on him on LinkedIn. Had the opportunity to go up there and speak, but we're not gonna talk about that today because it's still Law Talk. We'll wrap that up. I'll talk about that at the end, closing the show out. But I'm gonna go ahead and get attorney Fred Jones back on the show, and we're gonna talk about a topic that I happened to see, Dad, and I was like, whoa, this is something that needs to be discussed. We need to bring a little light here. There is a singer, and his name is David, but it's spelled D4, and it's very interesting. It's very interesting. It's D4VD, and I was like, what does that spell? I was not sure, and I heard people discussing the topic. They said David, so we're gonna go with David. All right, and it says singer David is fully cooperating after a body was found in the Tesla registered to the singer. And this is reported by the Griot. Said authorities found a dead body hidden in the trunk of a car registered to the singer as he is embarking on the Withered World tour. Okay, so we'll read just a little bit of the article. The multi-platinum singer David is fully cooperating with authorities, right, after a badly decomposing body was found at an impound lot in Los Angeles in a Tesla registered to the singer. On Monday, September 8th, the authorities found the body. They were called to the location. The authorities received a report about a foul odor emanting from the vehicle, which had been abandoned in Hollywood Hills for several days, NBC News reported. I'm going to read this last part and then we'll dive into it. According to Rolling Stone, the police reports indicate that the body is a woman who was found dismembered in a bag hidden in the front trunk of the Tesla in such a state of decomposition that authorities weren't immediately able to determine her age, identity, and race. Let's talk about it, Dad. Let's talk about it. What are the legal implications right here? Let's talk about the legal impact here. Singer's on tour. Currently still on tour. He just wrapped up, I believe it was, he just wrapped up doing a performance in Minnesota, and the fans believe that he wasn't going to show just based on, the current events that are taking place. He showed up, he performed. Now I'm going to kick it to you.
So, John, there's a rule, okay? And here again, don't tell them about I told you, because if they don't watch the Split Your Success in the Morning, it may not be a success. But, hey, listen. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Hmm.
Somebody ought to write that in the comment box.
Mm.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. Okay. You say, well, what do you mean by that? If you are claiming ownership of something and you have possession of it, you're almost in the end zone. You're almost there. You're on the 1 inch yard line.
Mm.
If you're claiming possession and you own it, you got it. I got this gavel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the owner of it. Possession is 9/10 of the law. You're almost there.
Mm.
On the other hand, if you're being charged with a crime, if there's a crime that has occurred and the crime is a dead body or somebody's dead,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in a vehicle or in a home or in some type of place that's owned by you, that you are the registered owner of, you are 9/10 guilty.
Oh my good. Yeah, hold on. Wait.
Huh?
Let me throw a little wrench here. So the article later says that the representatives for the 20-year-old singer. This is the plot twist. They told NBC News that David has been informed about what's happened, and although he is out on tour, so the car and the body were found in the lot. He's still out on tour. Does that still apply, like what we're talking about with 9/10 and possession? What this seems, I'm not gonna say complicated, but it seems layered, at least here, based on that information.
It is layered, okay? It is layered. So we have a deceased, dead person
Mm-hmm.
in the trunk of this person's vehicle.
Correct.
Vehicle is registered and titled to Mr. David.
Correct.
At a minimum, Mr. David got some explaining to do.
Mm, man.
How did this happen? When did this happen? Who had possession of your vehicle? How long did they have possession of your vehicle? Why
Mm,
did they have possession of your vehicle? What do you know about this? Tell us any and everything you know about this. You see, the mere fact that Mr. David is the owner of that vehicle, there's some culpability here. There's some connection here.
mm,
And it's kind of like algebra. Is it algebra or geometry? Where you take the given and you figure out you solve the puzzle. You start with what you know and you
mm-hmm.
put the pieces together.
That's algebra.
The,
Yep.
the authorities are just going to start with what they know. Vehicle is registered to John Doe. Let's go talk to John Doe. Let's talk to John Doe's spokesman. Let's talk to John Doe's attorney. Let's talk to John Doe.
Mm,
John Doe is where we're going to go. And we're going to get started there because we got to find somebody. Here again, a decomposed body in a car at a garage parking lot, and authorities are notified. Who's at risk? The public is at risk. That's something we often overlook when we're talking about law. The public is at risk. Nobody wants to see their child murdered or decomposed. Hear that my child been gone from home 3 days, and then 7 days later we find out that they were in the trunk of a car. Nobody wants to
mm,
hear that.
yep.
Nobody wants to discover that. So the public is feeling uneasy. Law is all about bringing order and peace. Law is about bringing harmony in the community. And when this kind of activity is going on or something has happened like this, then we want to get to the root of it. And we start by looking at the leaves. And the
Mm.
leaves is who owned this thing.
Man, and even what you're saying, and just as we've seen in multiple other cases, typically when news articles and things like this come out, who are the first people to jump ship? Right here, Dad, it says, while the story is still developing and circumstances around all this came to be remain unknown, the fallout for the singer has begun. Crocs Hollister announced they removed him from a campaign launched earlier this month. And then later down the article says, we are aware of the developing story with respect to the current situation. We have removed campaign content featuring David while the investigation continues.
Why? Why?
Mm,
If you get close, if there's smoke, there's fire somewhere.
Ooh.
And if there's smoke, there's fire somewhere. And if you get close to a mess, some mess gonna get on you.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, we live in a time now, John. It used to be you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Well, in the light of fast moving news and immediate news and fake news and just flat out lying and a whole bunch of mess going on out here, people are coming to judgment quicker. Why? Because companies want to protect themselves and defend from any liability. It all boils down. When at the end of the day, nobody wants to be liable for a bad apple. You know, if you were doing things
Yeah.
that are not positive and uplifting, then guess what? I wouldn't want to be on your show. I wouldn't. You and if I on the other side, if I was doing things that was causing harm and bad and negative, you wouldn't want me on your show. So we're at a time now where people are looking out for their own best interest and protecting themselves from the number one fear of every entrepreneur.
Mm.
The number one fear of every entrepreneur is not necessarily going broke or going out of business. The
What's that?
number one fear is a lawsuit.
Mm.
Nobody wants to be sued because whether you are profitable or whether your business is doing well, if you hit a lawsuit, now you got to defend that.
Oh man, money, money, money,
It
money.
all goes
And
back.
on top of the fact of what, depending on the level that you're at, on top of the fact of this is gonna now turn into a smear campaign for your reputation.
Damaging your brand, damaging your brand.
Black
So
sheep.
there's no right way to do the wrong thing. And if you get connected with the wrong people, you're going to come up with the wrong process and the wrong product because you become the 3 to 5 people you hang around with and talk to the most. You become them. They become you.
My. So in this
So,
situation, if you were Mr. Davis' legal counsel, what's the conversation looking like that you're having with him? Are you telling him come off tour? Are you telling him to go speak with the authorities? What would you which direction would you guide him in?
oh, I like your question. Thank you for asking that question. Okay. And I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to give you some black coffee this morning. I'm going to give you some black coffee this morning. I'm gonna give you some black coffee this morning. And those of you who are listening, you can put this in the comments because I'm gonna say it. I said on my when I sent out the email, I'm almost afraid to say this, but I'm gonna say it this morning. I'm gonna say it this morning. What legal counsel would I give Mr. David if I was his lawyer? Are
What
you ready
legal
for it?
counsel?
Let me see. I'm gonna count the words, John. Okay, I tell him 4 words.
Okay,
4 words.
4 words.
Shut your damn mouth.
That's it, huh?
Don't talk to an investigator. Don't talk to the police. Don't talk to your mama. Don't talk to your agent. Phone Fred first. Talk to your lawyer. John, most criminals are convicted out of their own mouth.
Mm.
Oh, I ain't know about it. Oh, I didn't intend. You already purged yourself. You knew you loaned that car to Bobo, and you knew your big nose and roach and dog, and you knew dog had some bad behavior, and you knew dog was driving your car, and you knew this and you knew that, and you go to denying it. You done start lying already, and now you done impeach yourself. Don't talk to anybody other than your lawyer and your legal counsel. Shut up. I'll give him 2 words. Shut up. Now, I'm not condoning what the person may or may have done. I'm not saying that what's being alleged, I'm not saying that he's connected in any way other than he owns a vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Now, if the vehicle is owned by him, that's close connection. We following a trail here.
This is
Okay?
true.
But if I was legal counsel him, and too many people talk, they talk without first talking to their lawyer. I mean, I know people be wanting to explain themselves, but you can't explain yourself out of problems especially when you're talking to the police before you done talk to your lawyer, because they will tell you anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Understand? And it's being recorded, and you're going to get tripped up because you're already nervous. You're already scared. You're already fumbling. You're going to fumble some more, and you're going to dig a big old hole that won't nobody be able to get you out of. Now, let me be clear. There's no right way to do the wrong thing. And I'm not an advocate of anybody doing anything wrong. But I am an advocate of being a furious, ferocious fighter for every right that the Constitution affords my client. Let the judge decide who's right and wrong, but I'm the lawyer, and I'm going to fight like the world's on fire for my client. And that's my job. So don't come telling me, well, how can you defend this man? Somebody was found in the trunk of his car. Well, the same way I would defend your little crumb snatcher if she was accused of doing something wrong. So innocent until proven guilty. Don't come here trying to be the lawyer and the judge and the police all at the same time. Just rest on you're innocent until proven guilty. And stop right there. Go talk to a lawyer. You don't have to be me. You don't have to call me. But go talk to a lawyer. Stop doing stupid stuff.
Man, that's good, Dad. Because so often people will sit there and try to fight and try to defend because the natural response, if something's negative said, we don't like it, I'm upset, I'm frustrated, I'm fighting. But what you're saying is learn the rules of the game and then operate inside of those lines, inside those walls.
Don.
Get an attorney. Get an attorney. Because at the end of the day, people are losing a game that they don't even know that they're playing. I'm pulled over. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Just play the rules of the game. Just like you always say, you get pulled over. You can't sit there and prove yourself innocent, and there's no way for you to win the case on the side of the road.
On the side of the road, John, you give yourself a death sentence. You're out on the side of the road, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever time your child is out there, and you're going to argue about something, and then you're going to get mad with the police. Bow. You gone. Now, who going to defend you?
Understand the rules of the game. First, understand the rules of the game.
Yeah.
That's first.
Yeah.
And then see how you can utilize counsel to help you leverage those rules for your benefit.
Early on. I'm dealing with a situation right now. Person got charged, and there was 3 or 4 charges, and person kept on talking to the police. They thought the police and the investigator was their friends, and they kept on talking. The next day, they went back to the facility and added 5 more charges.
Oh,
now this person is dealing with a situation that's extremely massive, and the bond is off the chart. Okay, and now this is just recent, and I'm like, come on, dude, you can't talk. You will not talk your way out of these situations. If I say anything on here today, those of y'all in the comments, put these 2 words. Somebody put in the comments, shut up. Just shut up, okay? And talk to a lawyer. Make sure you're talking to a lawyer.
That's it. Talk to a lawyer. Make sure they're a good one. So make sure you phone Fred first, everybody. Just go to fredjoneslaw.com. fredjoneslaw.com. Hop on a call. You want to talk to somebody. Don't talk to the police. Don't talk to the people at the courthouse. Don't try to talk to the judge. Talk to an attorney. So go to fredjoneslaw.com and talk to attorney Fred Jones. Right? You see him here every Thursday. He shows up. He's dressed up. He's here ready to rock. He's providing his legal counsel for the news that we're sharing so the people can understand how it benefits and how it affects us. But y'all, I can't make it any easier than that. Okay? We got the attorney for you on the line. Okay? He's right here. Many other attorneys y'all see on these billboards and all these other places, that's the only place you're going to see him. You ain't going to see him nowhere else, okay? You're going to see him on the billboard. You call the number, 1-888-6, whatever, and then you're going to get an assistant, and then you ain't never going to see this person, okay? So fredjoneslaw.com, phone Fred first. Dad, what you got? What you got to close us out? Close us out with something. What you got?
Always respect the police. Always respect the law. Always be kind and courteous. Never disrespectful. Never want to advocate that. Police have a hard job. Law enforcement is not easy. It's tough. But on here on Law Talk, if you want to speak your success and be success and give your child a chance to get home and give the police a chance to get home safe to their family, then be respectful, but don't talk. Just remain silent and comply and do what they say do.
There we go. There it is, folks. There it is. Dad, always, it's a plum pleasure to have you here in the flesh on Speaking Success in the Morning. Grateful for you, Dad. Love you much. And, this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. This is good stuff.
You get my blood moving. You get my blood moving. I wasn't feeling the greatest when I got up this morning, but I get on here and get to talking to you. I find myself screaming, hollering.
You're fiery now. I
This,
love it.
this could save somebody's life.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's why we're here. That's why we do Law Talk, to be able to help you save your life, your child's life, help you save some money, and help you save what? Your intellectual property and your reputation.
Most expensive thing you'll ever pay is attention to the wrong people.
That's it right there. That's it. Family, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this thing up, tie it up with a nice big old bow. Here on Speaking Success in the Morning, I'm Jonathan Jones. That was attorney Fred Jones. And then also, just on behalf of producer Britt, she's going to be back with us tomorrow, y'all. So be looking forward to her. And if you're on social media, send over a DM to @producer Britt with 2 T's. Say, Producer Britt, where you at? We miss you. Tap back in with us. Tap back in. But family, all right, we're going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here because I got to get my little one, well, my oldest one, ready for school. So family, 2 things. 1, make sure to subscribe so you don't ever miss any episodes here on the platform. And 2, if you got value from this, over right by the comment section, there's a little $sign. Feel free to give a love offering. We welcome it, and we welcome you every week here on the show on Speaking Success in the Morning. I'm Jonathan Jones. And remember, all right? Speak your success, believe in your greatness, and continue to create the life and business of your dreams. Why should you and why would you live any other